being condescending. Just move on, right? Just move forward and okay, well, check this out. First of all, you throwing too many big words at me. Okay, now, because I don't understand them, I'm going to take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth and help me with the set. Okay, see, now you found yourself a nigga. You looking for a nigga? Nigga here now, see?
My mind is so spectacular. Open up your aperture. You don't like the light that I be shining, bitch, you Dracula. Southern draw vernacular. Flip you like a spatula. Knew that I was built to put this world up on my scapula. I've been on this road so long, my tires ball. I don't wanna text and no, I don't wanna call. Came in this shit running, bitch, I don't know how to crawl. We ain't never folding, I'm holding the highest car. Look, okay, grew up running post routes. Now I'm on the cash route. Better call the plumber, that boy spitting like a bass spout. All these bad women in this club, fuck is you mad about? Word to all my estheticians, boy, I'm about to lash out. Straight from St. John's to the east side. Jigging since the knee high. Watch the way I put on for my state, nigga, yeehaw. Respecting no Aretha. Crazy how I made it to the league from the bleach eyes. Boy, my shit hair wrong. Black, rich, and bare arms. Smoking on that yogi, this shit stronger than some bare arms. Goku, I'm in rare form. You cannot prepare for him. When I swing, it's like a carnivore. This shit ain't fair for him. Brought intellect back to this rap shit. You niggas need chapstick. Shit been dry for way too long, and I'm the match shit. You niggas Nickelodeon me. I'm more like Cap Nick. Cap a nigga, throw him in. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said it, I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. About to blow like we just lit the fuse. We double dutch into this dough, I get this shit in twos. Push the button, get it started, put that shit in cruise. A little dust up on his heart, I barely get to use. A fool flatters himself, a wise man flatters a fool. Man, I just came to get it started like mechanics with tools. Cause in my hood, if you don't pack a tool, you planning to lose. These young boys deserve Oscars, they be acting a fool. A couple loose screws, but they hammer accurate. Ooh, I know some niggas stuck on drugs and manufacture it too. School of hard knocks, we all got our bachelor's. Food, no cap and gowns, but we all had the master. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said it, I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. I'm dumb lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh wax, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, deep in my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopping, we don't even need a brake light. Say she don't smoke, but she always smoke with me, yeah. Backwards in the air, back up in the ovaries, yeah. All my ops, they stay running like they over easy. Yeah. Even my masseurs can't just get too close to me, yeah. Shout out to Next. Soon as the ink dry, we count out the checks, yeah. I never flex. I bought up a business, you bought up a section. I'm at the top of my class, yeah. Y'all never learned from your lesson. Skywalker gave me the force, yeah. Turn this into an obsession, yeah. I couldn't wait on the team, cooking shit up with just me and play, yeah. Things never are what they seem, but we know the facts, yeah. Charging that shit to the game, but now I pull up with a battery pack, yeah. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, and we can just leave it at that. I'm dumb lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh wax, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, deep in my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopping, we don't even need no brake lights. Big bro, why they call you big bro? Every time we hit the bank, we deposit zip codes. Well connected with the streets like we out in Skid Row.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. I'm your host, Mr. BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. All of our YouTube videos, hit that like button. Y'all come in here to share, subscribe, hit that Cash App, $BJ Matthews, $BJ Matthews for all this great content that we drop on the daily. weekly, monthly basis, as well as you guys have not already. Make sure you guys get your super stickers and super comments that are available. Very, very important. If you guys have a comment that y'all want to drop in there and show y'all love for the donation, man. If y'all don't have Cash App or Venmo, make sure you guys do what y'all do and hit that super sticker and super comment that's available in the right bottom left corner. So we're gonna get into it, man. Another great show for y'all this morning. It was actually on my mind last night. Had a great live yesterday speaking about Kobe Bryant. And I decided to extend this, not because of, basically, what my feelings is, returns to yesterday. Well, actually kind of it is, but I just really kind of felt like this was a show that, we kind of really dive into, because I haven't really talked too much about this subject, because really ain't been something I ain't really had a reason to. But now, just based off of what didn't happen yesterday and, the talking points, another great show with, great people on the panel as well. I welcome disagreements. I welcome people that come in, have a difference of opinion. So it was great having all those different, different things, how the people on the panel, I think it went like about almost 4 hours. So definitely an epic live show. I told my boy Rick that it was going to be a show that was going to be pretty long. So, and it definitely did not disappoint. So y'all go and check out that live if y'all have not already. But I want to get to this subject right here, bro. Kobe Bryant versus Shaquille O'Neal. And the title is that Shaq needed Kobe Bryant more than Kobe Bryant needed Shaquille O'Neal. Now, I know a lot of people are going to look at that and hear that and be like, BJ off his rocker when you hear this, but I'm going to be dead honest. I'm going to be dead serious. And y'all know me, when I talk about stuff like this where people don't really see the popular opinion, I make sure to put out a lot of different data and film and all types of stuff for y'all to actually see what I'm talking about. And like I said, as long as the point that somebody makes, you have something to back it up, I'll listen. But it's when people try to make points that, don't line up and don't have any type of, support, is when I just choose to not, engage in that. That's better. So I hope y'all don't mind again the music. I'm gonna be doing this every time we do a show. I just like the calmness of this right there. So, I want to talk to y'all a little bit about this subject with Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. Obviously, yesterday it got really, I wouldn't say heated, but it was a lot of different discussions. We had a lot of people on the panel. Shout out to my boy Monty, Kirk, P5, even though P5 dropped. Shout out to my man Octopus 543. I think that's his name. I think he sounded like he's from Louisiana. I watched his video this morning. I watched your video, bro. You tagged me in. Great video. I'm gonna give you a shout out. Go follow his page as well. I think it's Octopus OCTAPUZ, and I want to say 543. Make sure I got it right. I want to, miscalculate his name. Okay, so I totally messed it up, bro. My fault. It said, "Oh, what up, cuz?" OWATUPCUZ23. Well, it's called "Oh, What Up, Cuz" 23. That's his page, man. He made a great video about me and the panel yesterday. So talking about Kobe Bryant. So definitely appreciate you coming on, brother. You coming anytime. My man Bookie Allen, always welcome on the show, bro. I did not know that you had that much knowledge when it came to ball. So a lot of different people came onto the panel. Of course, Rick, my co-host, me and him, hosted the show. Left a little bit early, but on a big note, just a lot of different, opinions. And I want to kind of expound on one major topic, because yesterday it was about Kobe Bryant being in the GOAT debate, which I think I got Kobe on my top 3 of all time. Right behind Mike and Kareem, and it's Kobe right after that, and definitely in my top 5. And I said he should be in the GOAT debate, but it seems like we've ran into a situation where a lot of people in the media have done a great job of removing this man from the GOAT debate. And like I said, it's my job and it's a lot of people's job who's in this field to at least make sure Kobe Bryant gets his just due. And that's why I'm here. So one of the discussions that we went deep into, and which seems to be very, very controversial now, is that Shaq carried Kobe Bryant to these first 3 championships. And Shaq pretty much is the reason why, Kobe Bryant is where he's at. And if Kobe never won without Shaq, then, he would be somebody who would just be looked at as a very, very solid player, which is crazy to even think of. And it kind of supports the argument that Kobe Bryant is greater than, what people give him credit for. Because if you're telling me he needed to win without Shaq, that's telling me that Kobe Bryant could do it the entire time with the right coaching or with the right offense and with the right, second option. Now, before I start, I want to give y'all an understanding. I'm not saying this to disrespect Shaq. I'm saying this too in defense of Kobe. I think plenty of people have defended Shaq for the most part. I think plenty of people have said Shaq, was the guy on that 1999 to 2004 Laker team, which is actually another, lie that I'm gonna expose. We know with the numbers, y'all just sit back and wait. But I think Shaq gets plenty of love from the masses, about where he stood on that team. The most dominant force, the most, dominant big man, one of the most dominant big men of all time. I think he gets plenty of love. So I don't think he needs any more backing up at this point. I think it's Kobe that needs to backing up. And exposing the hypocrisy when it comes to his championships, vice versa, another guy like Magic Johnson, who had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for all 5 of his titles, who's a top 5 player on a lot of people's list. I'm talking about Kareem. Magic never got ridiculed for that. Michael never got ridiculed for Scottie being all 6 championships. Even though Scottie Pippen is not a top 10 player, which I don't really talk about, you really have no reason to ridicule Mike because he actually built up Scottie Pippen, right? Kareem came to the Lakers already established with a championship with Oscar Robertson. He was already getting a league MVP. He was already getting a time All-Star. You already was getting a guy who led NBA history in scoring. That 1980s Laker team was one of, you can make an argument, was the best team of all time. 5 championships, 9 title appearances. Many weapons on that Laker team, from Big James Worthy. You had Byron Scott. You had Jamal Wilkes. You had Bob McAdoo, who came later. You had, of course, Kareem. You had Kurt Rambis. You had a lot of different options on that Laker team. A lot of weapons. Because my thing is, if you have Magic Johnson was not a primarily scorer, he had to pass the ball to somebody. I don't care if you're a great passer, you're the greatest passer of all time. If you don't pass the ball to a person who can put the ball in the hoop, it doesn't matter. You don't get the assist. But I digress from that. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But it just seems to be a hypocrisy when it comes to Kobe Bryant that I ain't never seen before. His championships gets taken away. His credit gets taken away. People try to rewrite history on why he wasn't able to do what he's able to do. False narratives get pushed. And I don't think people do enough good of a job pushing back. And I'm talking about Kobe fans. I can see why a lot of people look at Kobe fans as delusional. I'm not going to lie. Because you guys got so much information. A lot of y'all were there to see what he did. But I don't think a lot of y'all go deep enough in y'all bag when it comes to supporting Kobe and backing up his claim as being a top 5 player and being a GOAT. Because it's there. It's all there. From the eye test, from the statistics, from the moments, from the restraints that he had on his career, vice versa, Michael Jordan and LeBron James, who came into the league with the keys in their hands because they went to bad lottery teams. When the Kobe had to go to a Laker team that won 50 games previously the year before, meaning he was playing behind all-stars like Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel, who were established. That's the restraints he had to go to. A coach who did not believe in playing young stars at the time, Dale Harris. All the things he had to go up against to push through that Michael and LeBron didn't have to go through. They can just roll the ball out and play on a bad team and just rack their numbers up. Allen Iverson, another one. Ray Allen, another one. Tracy McGrady or Vince Carter, another one. All these players who historically aren't as good as Kobe somehow got a head start the first 2-3 seasons, which Kobe talked about on the podcast, All the Smoke, that it was pretty much a nightmare. Riding the bench behind guys that he knows he's better than, all because he was 17 years old, which is another thing, the youngest player to come into the NBA. 17. Different time. But let's get to Kobe and Shaq again. I'm going to promote a lot of different evidence to push my point that Kobe Bryant was needed more than Shaquille O'Neal. First off, when you look at both of their, accomplishments and what they did, and also the, basically the statistics, and you look at the accomplishments and accolades and stuff like that, we're going to pull that up right here. Let y'all see it for yourself. Because, and I'm gonna do another one with Tim Duncan as well. Because There seems to be people that just get plugged in. Again, Kobe was looked at as being right behind Mike when he was playing. After that 5th title, they had a discussion who was better between him and Mike. Obviously, Mike's the GOAT. So if you're having a discussion between him and Mike, it's obviously you think Kobe Bryant's right behind him at number 2. I know that's unpopular to hear right now, or it's hard for people to hear right now because, you know, you got a lot of dumbass media people like Nick Wright and Shannon Sharp and, you know, things of that nature have tried to done a good job, who are LeBron James junkies, to disrespect his legacy. And I've already exposed Shannon Sharp for being a Kobe Bryant, you know, hypocrite, because when Kobe was playing, you guys can find this out. Shannon Sharp was actually a Kobe Bryant fanatic. And he said there's only 2 people, there's only one player over him, and that was Michael Jordan. But all of a sudden, LeBron James has been over Kobe, and they want to bring up this one MVP. The same one MVP that Kobe Bryant already had won when Shannon Sharp made that tweet is the same MVP trying to use against him, saying that he can't be in the GOAT debate. Y'all got to watch what these analysts say and their agendas that are being pushed. Some of these guys are getting paid off. Some of these guys are on the payroll, believe it or not. But I digress. Let's look at the accolades between Kobe and Shaq. Now, obviously, you got some similarities here. You got similarities in championships where Kobe only has one more championship over Shaq. Kobe played one more season over Shaq. Playoffs play went to Shaquille O'Neal 17-15. All-Star games went to Kobe 18-15. So there are some closeness in these different categories, but 3 out of 4 categories go to Kobe Bryant. Now, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into what I'm going to say because this is not about the career argument. This is about when they played together and who is carrying who. But as far as age, and I think my man Kirk said this. He said he had Shaq over Kobe, and I said, how? What is it that Shaq accomplished? I thought Kobe Bryant passed Shaq up when he won that 5th title. And actually taking his team to 3 straight NBA finals. 3 straight. Right? So you go to 3 straight NBA finals without the same guy that people said you couldn't make it with. And to be quite honest with you, though, in the 08 finals, the Lakers were missing their big man, Andrew Bynum, and they were missing Trevor Ariza, 2 starters. That's another thing people don't talk about. Oh, the Lakers got destroyed. Kobe got destroyed in 6 games. Well, you got to remember they're missing 2 of their stars against a stacked, newly big 3, which Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett. But people don't say that about Kobe Bryant. Missing Trevor Ariza and Andrew Bynum was like missing, for them, Ray Allen and who was their center at the time? I don't know if it was who was their center at that time? I can't remember, but it was they had a stacked starting 5 at the time. But when you look at the honors and awards, season MVP, they both have 1 apiece. Shaq has 1 more finals MVP than Kobe. Kobe has made All-NBA first team 11 times to Shaq's 8. All-NBA teams 15 to 14 go to Kobe. They're pretty even neck and neck. But Kobe edges them out. Again, 2 out of those 3 categories, and 1 of them is tied. But this is where he actually runs away with it. The all-defensive team. He won all-defensive team first team all 9 times to all-defensive teams for Shaq 0. He did not make 1 all-defensive first team in 19 seasons. All defensive teams combined, 12-3 goes to Kobe. Scoring leader, they both have 2 apiece. And then 0-1 with the rookie of the year, Shaquille O'Neal. So, as you guys can see, Kobe Bryant in all these categories is pretty much over Shaq. Again, my man Kirk said Shaq was over Kobe Bryant. I don't see how. I don't see how that you can make an accurate case that this man is over Kobe Bryant. Historically, you had this man say that he's the greatest Laker of all time, for crying out loud. He came out on studio saying that Kobe Bryant was the greatest Laker of all time. It was between him and Magic. That's what he said. I didn't say that. You know, he did. To look at the statistics, Kobe Bryant scoring ball, it was over Shaquille O'Neal. With that, him missing his first 2 to 3 seasons. See, you guys don't realize just how hard it is to get your averages up when you miss a good amount of time in your career. 2 or 3 seasons out of 20 is an accurate amount of time to miss when you know you basically have to start from behind. It's easy to get it's easy for your averages to go down. It's hard to get them up, right? Edges them out in points, of course, in assists and rebounds. You know, big to small. Assists go to Kobe, rebounds go to Shaq. Steals per game goes to Kobe, blocks go to Shaq. But the stats, the accolades, the awards, it just goes to Kobe here, there, and the other. So I really just want to put that out first before I go even further. But there's no real discussion as far as, to me personally. I know everybody has their opinion, but as far as historically, there's no real discussion in my eyes of what Shaq really wins. Kobe won more titles. He won without Shaq. He was a greater player for a longer period of time. Now, if you want to say Shaq had a peak that was higher than Kobe, that's a more accurate discussion. From 99 to 2002, you can make that claim, okay, that 3-year peak was as good as Kobe Bryant's 2004 to about 2007. Or 2000, was it 2007, individually. Right? You can make that argument. But as far as the longevity and what they're able to do and what they're able to get out of their careers, I feel Shaq underachieved. And when people ask me what do I mean by that, I'm saying, well, this man didn't stay in shape long enough. He was not. He could have been. Shaq could have had a case of being a GOAT if he really took himself serious. Like he could have had about 40,000 points. But this is about Shaq and Kobe when they're tenured together. Because again, Shaq carried Kobe. That's the narrative that's being pushed. And y'all know me, I'm the narrative killer, right? So I always like to go back to the source. And I want y'all to kind of hear between Kobe and Shaq what actually was going on those years they were together, because there's a lot of context, and I'm not sure people remember this interview, but there's a lot of context that's missed when it comes to Shaq and Kobe Bryant. So I want y'all to hear a little bit of my point about when people say Shaq was this, that, and the other. I always respond with one or two questions. My question number one is, why couldn't he not win more championships without Kobe, and Kobe won more championships without him? And number two, what happened when Shaq, the first 8 years? What happened to the first 8 years before he got Kobe Bryant, and he became his own? Why couldn't he win with Penny Hardaway? Why couldn't he win with Eddie Jones? Why couldn't he win with Nick Van Exel? Now, some people may say it was Phil Jackson. That's very fair. The triangle offense with him and Tex Winter definitely played a part. But I'm saying they try to act like Shaq could have just won with anybody and that was it. Well, damn, where was it at? All of a sudden, LeBron James goes to Shaquille O'Neal. They could have won 10 titles. I already played the video yesterday when LeBron was promising 5, 6, 7 titles in Miami. He came out with 2. And one of those championships came off the hair of his chinny chin, a la Ray Allen. So I don't really go too much with these promises these players make. You gonna get the job done or not. But I want y'all to hear what Shaquille O'Neal was going through his first 8 years before he's able to get over the hump, and the guy who was able to get him over the hump. So y'all sit back and y'all enjoy what we're about to run. All right, here we go.
Being swept out of the playoffs in May.
96 through 99 was a frustrating point. I don't know about, maybe a little bit for you, but for me, being one of the best bigs in the league and having that title of not winning one, I think it took toll on both of us. You know, I wanted to get it. You wanted to get it.
Well, I'm at a point in my life where individual honors don't mean much anymore. I'm just, more worried about what the team is capable of doing.
I admit I was probably crazy. Well,
we both weren't necessarily stable.
Because my thing is, I didn't want to, for us and for me, I didn't want to have that title of, they ain't got one yet.
Right. I
remember one day reading in the paper, Shaq's averaging 20 or 30 and doing this, and the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said, well, he didn't win none yet.
Right.
So is he great? And that just kind of, You know.
Well, I one thing that I understood was your necessity to have to win one. There's a lot of pressure, and I think there's a lot of frustration because.
So before I let y'all go a little bit further, and I know y'all probably gonna be like, "BJ, gonna stop the video." I'll do what I want because it's my video. All right, y'all just sit back and chill. I love y'all, but I want to stop the video to give y'all to understand what's happening right now. So what y'all just saw was Shaquille O'Neal admitting that he went through a rough time, 96, 99. He was having a rough time getting over the hump of winning. He was looked at as being a dominant center, but shout out to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for telling him, without that, without the championship, it means absolutely nothing. And that drove him absolutely crazy. So you had stars to win. According to the masses, Penny Hardaway was right behind Michael Jordan. You had a chance to win with Penny. Obviously, in 95, y'all got beat against the, Houston Rockets, got swept. And then, what Kobe is going to ask, Kobe's going to respond to when Shaq told it, he's just like Penny. And what was his response was, but you had him. And then you had Eddie Jones, you had Nick Van Exel, who were all-stars. And you couldn't even get past, I don't think the Lakers at that time from 96 99 got to the conference finals. They were getting beat by the Jazz. They were getting beat by the Spurs. Now, some of that may go to coaching, but Shaq was just, the point is Shaq was not getting over the hump. So when I keep hearing this, Shaq was just this game changer that can, basically just win with anybody. I never quite understood that. As time goes on more, I think people are going to realize that Shaq, as great as he was, struggled in certain moments. He was not a great free throw shooter. He was not always good in the clutch. But what he was an actual dominant force in a time which really suited his era, where there was not very, he was in the era of not really big centers. But you go into 1998 to 1999 when Kobe finally got into the rotation. This is way before Kobe Bryant even became who he was. He was still a 21-year-old kid at this time. So basically, you were depending on a 21-year-old guy to be your second option. So I want y'all to kind of hear what was going on between Kobe and Shaq at this point. So here we go.
You kept seeing this kid, and everybody kept saying, okay, be patient with this kid, be patient with this kid. And you're saying, listen, I don't have patience. I have to win now. And this kid needs to develop now. I think I can remember the first time we had our first fight, and you looked and said, okay, this is crazy.
I did say that.
Yeah, I did.
Crazy.
You did. Anyway, we're playing a pickup game. We was doing a lockout season, Southwest College, playing a pickup game. We're on opposite teams.
Right.
And trash talking.
Yes.
And you kept saying, yeah, take that little. I'm like, I'm looking around. Oh, me.
Yes.
Right? And
Yeah.
I said, oh, hold on. Ain't going to be too many more of those little,
Yeah, I remember that.
And what'd you say? Well, what you going to do about it? Well, what you going to do about it? And then that's the next thing I knew. I saw a big hand coming this way. And I remember going this way. And I remember throwing some lollipop. Golden Polynese came and caught. And then they all just kind of broke us apart, broke us up. I'm looking at this and I'm saying, man, he wants this thing. It affects him, right? I mean, it consumes him. And then from that moment on, I knew we spoke the same language. It doesn't matter if we had disagreements, this and the other. Our drive to win, like we have to win. There's no other option. We're going to figure this out. We're going to get this done, and we did it.
Portland has 3 timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to Shaq.
My favorite Kobe moment is in the finals in Indiana. I foul out.
Rose's 20-foot jumper, no good. Rebound should be Shaq. Smith's got it. Loose ball foul. Shaq is out of the game.
So, stop it again. Now, what y'all just heard was Shaquille O'Neal admitting that he needed Kobe Bryant at this moment. Now, he's about to talk about the famous game. I think it was game 5 in Indiana in 2000. I remember like it was yesterday. Shaq fouls out in a pivotal moment in the fourth quarter. And it was left up to Kobe Bryant to take him home. And another thing that people don't realize is Kobe Bryant led the Lakers in clutch points in their tenure together. Meaning when it came down to that fourth quarter and those big shots, all those shots that a lot of people remember that Kobe was hitting in the fourth quarter. Y'all think those shots weren't needed to, win some of those big pivotal playoff games? So what happens is this is the beginning of Kobe Bryant. What happened? Still not, he's a 21, 22-year-old kid at the time, or 21-year-old young man. And he's coming in a situation, pressurized situation, where he has to basically carry the Lakers home because his big man fouled out, which Shaq did a lot. He either fouled out or he could not make free throws. They used to do the hack of Shaq, which is another, negative. And all this, I'm not trying to take away from Shaq as far as him as a player, but what I am trying to do is to put things in perspective that Shaq had holes in his game. Yeah, he was a dominant force, in the paint, but the holes did kind of affect the teams at times. But this right here shows that Kobe Bryant took the Lakers home when Shaq was not around. So I'm gonna let y'all finish with Shaq telling the story. Here we go.
I'm like, damn, I let the team down again. And you put your hand on my shoulder and said, don't worry, big fella, I got it. And you took over.
Kobe fires the jumper and gives LA the lead. Shaw running one-hander. Followed in by Kobe Bryant.
Or you can just feel the tension in this building.
Reggie off the screen for three.
Reggie for the win! No! And that's it! The Lakers take a 3-1 series lead. It doesn't get any better than this.
So my fault. That was game 4, not game 5. But y'all get the point. That game right there, the Lakers went up 3-1, and basically at that time, teams didn't come back from 3-1 lead. So that series was pretty much history, and that was the beginning of the duo between Kobe and Shaquille O'Neal. So obviously, right there, you guys can see the value that Kobe Bryant had on that first championship. Now, I want to pull up something real quick about these numbers. I know a lot of Shaq fans are going to be coming in here talking about some, well, Shaq led in this, BJ, and Shaq led in that. Shaq was this, Shaq was that. Okay, I got y'all, man. Don't worry. I got y'all. I'm gonna give sides to, credit to both sides, right? I ain't gonna be like a lot of y'all who want to sit up there and just, say Shaq carried and Shaq did this, Shaq did that. And not give, the other side credit. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and pull up these numbers real quick so y'all can kind of see what I'm talking about. All right, but first I got to turn my music on. So, again, people have done a great job of trying to take away Kobe's credit or give him any credit when it came to this argument. And I don't know why people don't push back harder. Again, Kobe Bryant fans got to do a better job. And not just fans of Kobe, but just basketball in general. People that were there, you guys got to do a better job of educating the people who either are millennials or people who are trying to push a different narrative. Y'all know damn well Shaq was not the only de facto when it came to that duo. Y'all know damn well that Shaquille O'Neal at times, there were many games that Kobe Bryant had to carry the Lakers and win the game. Shaq was the starter, Kobe Bryant was the closer. That's how I looked at him, a 1-2 punch, 1A, 1B. But I put up an article saying Kobe and Shaq needed each other. The numbers don't lie. So I'm going to go straight to the numbers of their 3P. Now, this is just going to talk about the playoffs, so I'm going to go into another, screenshot in a minute. But you look at the first playoff series in 2000. Now, this is just not the playoffs, but it's the finals as well. Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, y'all see, don't even worry about Glenn Rice and Ron Harper. They're not even in discussion. But Shaq averaged 30 points per game and 15 rebounds, 3 assists, dominant. 21 points for Kobe, 4.5 rebounds, and 4.4 assists. Now, obviously, Shaquille O'Neal was the number one option in their first championship. And that was by design. I'm also going to prove that as well. The Lakers had an idea to basically put Shaq in a position to have the ball run through him in the triangle offense, which was a very, very smart, intelligent way to go about it because Shaq was the more dominant player, and they were in a time where the centers they were not as strong as the shooting guards. Kobe Bryant, at his position, had to go through Allen Iverson. He had to go through Ray Allen. He had to go through Paul Pierce. He had to go through Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, all these great historic all-star shooting guards. Kobe Bryant had to see night in and night out on both sides of the basketball. On both sides. I have to get out there and get 25, 30 points per game or 25, 30 points. Ryan Scott also be on the other side guarding the opposing team's best player, who a lot of times was a shooting guard. Shaq was going against guys, you know, Dikembe Mutombo, Todd McCullough, Rick Smiths. You didn't really have centers. You had a lot of good power forwards, you know, KG, Rasheed Wallace, Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki. But you didn't really have centers that Shaq really mano went to. So a lot of times they had to double and triple team him in the post. Fair. But the regular season, Kobe Bryant was a All-NBA second-team player and All-NBA first-team defensive player. And he was an All-Star that first year in their three-peat. So again, All-NBA second-team, All-NBA first-team defense, and an All-Star. So he was at a point a very respectable player at 21 years old. While Shaq at the age of 28, 29, who was in his prime, doing what he was supposed to do, was a league MVP, All-NBA first team, all defensive second team. Right? Shaq was the clear cut over the Pacers in the finals, even though the footage I just showed y'all, without that game 4 performance by Kobe Bryant, there was a great chance that the Lakers would have arguably went back to Indiana or went back to the LA down tied 2-2. So I'm just making a point that Kobe Bryant was needed and not just a, you know, option. But they get over the first hump, and then the second title, things happen where Kobe Bryant starts to get his confidence, and he says, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and basically put myself in a position where it's gonna be a 1-2 punch. So his numbers go up to 30 for Shaq, 15 rebounds, which is pretty much similar to last year. Then 29 points for Kobe Bryant, and then 7 rebounds for Kobe and 6 assists. 1 point below Shaq in the whole playoffs, in the finals as well. Which again, the ball was angled to go on Shaquille O'Neal, play after play. He had the most touches, he had the most shot attempts. He averaged 30 points to Kobe's 29. That doesn't seem like a carry to me. And then the final year, the title run, obviously. You got Shaq at 28.5, 12 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 26.6, 5.8, 4.6 for Kobe. Now, the numbers are pretty similar. Shaq has 2 more points over Kobe Bryant, which is fine. This was the final year that Shaq led the team in scoring. I know P5 jumped on and said that Shaq, you know, was over Kobe up until 2000, 2004. So that's a lie. The beginning of the 2002-2003 season, Kobe Bryant was starting to become the guy on the team, and Shaq was digressing. Large part of it because of how he chose to take care of himself, or he didn't take care of himself. How he would wait until close to the playoffs to get in shape, which drove Kobe Bryant absolutely insane. As great as you are, you refuse to keep yourself in shape. So I'm gonna go back into the interview. I'm gonna let y'all hear what actually happened and why Kobe Bryant was out of the Lakers and actually, you know,
I didn't get any of that because we were looking for homes.
Right.
We were actually looking for homes in Chicago, researching schools, places to live.
So that was true. You were going to go to the Bulls.
Yeah, there was a story in ESPN. I think it was ESPN magazine, and they asked you a question about me and Penny, and you said that we're essentially the same. I looked at that and I said, no, we're not.
But I think you took that the wrong way because of all the misquotes and all the bad stuff.
I probably did. And I probably use his motivation too.
Yeah.
Saying, listen, if this is the conversation, I don't want this conversation. When I retire, I don't want people to say, okay, he only won because of Shaq. As unfair as that is, Magic never won without Cat, right? Michael never won without Scotty. So, but here I am getting stuck with this argument, which is not fair, but yet this is the argument people will make, and I'm not okay with that. And so therefore I knew, okay, I gotta go.
I had actually heard that, but I didn't believe it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So, we're looking for places in Chicago, man. We're flying up there to meet with Reinsdorf and
Paxson. You want to leave sunny California to go to cold-ass Chicago.
But that's the signed off or moving out to, I think it was Lake Forest, I think it was, Chicago. And went on a vacation to Italy. I got a phone call. Rob Pelinka called me. And he said, Shaq just requested a trade. I was like, well, there goes Chicago. There's no way the Lakers are going to lose me and Shaq in the same year.
But you know what I love about the great Dr. Jerry Buss? He called me and said, hey, you're aging. Of course, I know you want the money, but I can't lose this guy. I'm going to start all over.
It's certainly a disappointing day in a lot of ways in Los Angeles. I mean, to say anything else, would not be telling the truth.
And because I understood the business of basketball, I was upset, but I understood it. And that's why I said, you know what, I got to keep this going. That's why I like to come back for.
So what y'all heard was a back and forth between Kobe and Shaq of what happened. And the reason why I played this was because I wanted to really put in perspective this whole idea that Kobe Bryant desperately needed Shaq to win championships, and that Shaq somehow carried his career. Kobe said something very interesting. He said he was not okay with the label if he retired, that the only reason he won was because of Shaquille O'Neal. And a lot of people ran with that narrative. A lot of people go with what basically the bigger story instead of what's actually going on. The big idea that Shaquille O'Neal carried Kobe Bryant was a thing. That was a story that was being pushed. That was a narrative being pushed. And until Kobe Bryant proved he didn't need Shaquille O'Neal to win and had to do it on the court, that's when you actually saw, okay, well, this guy actually is that person. But he made up another good point that Shaq, as much as people get on Kobe for not winning without Shaq, they never talk about how Magic needed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for all 5 of his titles. It doesn't get him pushed out the GOAT debate. Oh, Magic Johnson, he's Magic. He's the top 5 best point guard of all time. He can have all his championships and not get any of them taken away. When he has another player who is higher than Shaq and Kareem, but his championships don't get moved out the way. But Kobe's does when he had Shaquille O'Neal. And here's another thing I don't understand as well. When Kobe finally did win, they tried to up Pau Gasol to a level as if he was just this all-world type of player, which he was a good, solid player as far as when he was with Memphis. But he made one All-Star game. And shout out to my man, what up, cuz 23, who said it. He got his spot taken by Carlos Boozer. I forgot to even mention that point yesterday. Before Pau Gasol came to the Lakers, he was not a top 3 power forward. You had Tim Duncan, you had Kevin Garnett, you had Dirk Nowitzki who were over him. You had Chris Webber, you had Rasheed Wallace. At his same position, he spent, when did Pau Gasol? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years with the Grizzlies. And he only made one All-Star game. But Kobe Bryant won with Pau Gasol, so that's somehow supposed to take away again credit from him. All Pau Gasol was able to do was learn from Kobe Bryant how to be great. That's all it was. That's all that was. And I'm gonna let y'all hear what Pau Gasol said about Kobe Bryant and what he meant to his career. And again, I'm giving y'all what they're saying. I'm not gonna say it for y'all. I'm gonna let the people who were actually there speak up, because again, we're gonna stop all this, try to rewrite history. So right here is the Pau Gasol Hall of Fame speech, which he finally got into the Hall of Fame years after he retired, which was not a surefire Hall of Fame career. But remember, he played overseas as well, because you guys do remember your Hall of Fame career is your college, NBA, and international career. Pau Gasol was a great player in Spain, so that factored him getting into the Hall of Fame. But I'm gonna let y'all hear what Pau Gasol had to say about what Kobe Bryant meant to him in his little tenure.
2008, Chris Wallace calls me to his office and gives me the news that I was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. That obviously changed my life and my career. I know some people in the league were upset about the trade, but it happened, right? And that's where I got to know the person who elevated my game like no other, who taught me what it took to win at the highest level, who showed me how hard you had to work and the mentality you needed to have in order to be the best, the commitment you had to make, what it meant and what it took to be a leader. Kobe, saying, hey, I want to come by your room and I want to welcome you. I want to say hello and I want to welcome you to the team. I said, you know what? I mean, it's going to be late. It's going to be like past 1 a.m. You sure you don't want to wait for tomorrow? He said, no, it's not going to be too late. I'm coming over. I said, oh, okay, sounds good. The team had a game next day at noon, so all right. So he just wanted to make sure that right away, firsthand, I got the message. He said, welcome to the team. I'm happy you're here. Now let's go win a championship together. So I said, all right, I'm in, man. I'm in. Have a good night. That was it.
So sounds just like Kobe. Straight business. But did y'all hear that? Pau Gasol came out and basically said that he got a chance to play with Kobe Bryant. But the reason the people try to make it seem like Kobe had a chance to play with Pau Gasol. Again, 1 All-Star game in 7 seasons for the Grizzlies when it came to Pau Gasol. He got pushed out the first round every time he made it to the playoffs. He didn't make it past the first round. Again, a very solid, skilled big man, but was presumed a little bit soft. And that's what happened in 2008. The Celtics basically bullied Pau Gasol, and basically Kobe Bryant caught niche to that. I don't know how the hell he did it, but the year after, I saw a different Pau Gasol who was more ferocious, who was more, a little bit more nasty. And that couldn't have came from nobody but Kobe Bryant. Pau Gasol is by his nature is a very loving, fun dude. He doesn't really get angry. So when I started seeing him, yelling at teammates and yelling at Kobe Bryant for not passing him the ball, I'm like, okay, this guy has put something in him. And that's called leadership, which is another quality people overlook when it comes to Kobe Bryant. I understand Kobe Bryant in that 09-010 championship run, taking them to 3 championships in a row. Y'all can't even name the starting 5 of that Laker team. I can. Derek Fisher, Kobe, you had Lamar Odom, you had Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum. That was their starting 5. But Pau Gasol, again, was not a perennial all-star before he came to the Lakers. And Andrew Bynum was not a perennial all-star. He made 2 all-star teams with the Lakers under Kobe Bryant. And he didn't even last 10 years in the NBA. Derek Fisher, a solid role player. But he wasn't stacking his team to win a championship. He said, let me get a guy beside me who complements my game, like some good role players who want to, play hard and, do the dirty work, and we can win a championship. Not only did they win a championship, they went back-to-back and went to 3 championships in a row in a loaded Western Conference. In a loaded Western Conference. I want y'all to hear what Paul Pierce had to say about Pau Gasol as well, about what happened to him when he came to the Lakers and the difference from 08 to 2010. So here we go.
Crazy, because when we talked to Kobe, that he said that was one of the hardest hits in his career, losing to you guys in that the finals in 08.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about that, he got it back. Oh, that's the one I'll never forget. That one he got back from us in 2010. Oh, man. I know he said that was his sweetest one, too.
Yeah.
He said that was the one.
Yeah, the loss to y'all was the toughest, and the win was the sweetest.
Doing it without Shaq.
Yeah.
Yep, doing it without Shaq. Oh, man, that was Kobe. We had 4 All-Stars, dude. You know that? He had 4 He was the only All-Star. Him and Pau, he had 2. He had Pau Gasol, but he toughened Pau Gasol up.
Oh, man.
Because that first finals, we ran through Pau Gasol.
Oh, I've seen Kobe obliterate Pau Gasol, and I pulled Pau to the side like, bro,
you can't let this happen.
But just I hear what he's saying, but let me just.
He made.
You know how crazy I am. I had to like. You good?
Yeah, it was that bad.
Like, nigga,
God damn.
At Pau's head, but like you said, he made him a lot tougher.
He made him a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
good call.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear that? He made Pau Gasol into a Hall of Famer. So what's this whole Kobe had it easy with Pau Gasol? Seemed like to me Pau Gasol needed Kobe Bryant to be who he was, and that's the same thing Shaq needed with Kobe Bryant to be who he was. Shaquille O'Neal basically won 1 championship in 19 years without Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant went to 3 NBA finals without this guy who people said he needed so desperately. This is the part that people, if I'm gonna leave y'all with this if y'all don't hear nothing else. Kobe, it got so bad, Kobe did not want to be left with this narrative that he actually wanted to go to Chicago to play with the Bulls if it meant being left with this label that he needed Shaquille O'Neal, when deep down he knew, and also Shaq knew who that guy was when he saw him every day at practice. He didn't want to be left with that label. That's how you know one guy was, confident in his ability. He didn't try to join super teams and try to make super teams like another guy we talked about yesterday. He didn't want to join. He wanted to beat you. He wanted to be the top alpha dog. Shout out to my boy Monty as well for saying Kobe never passed the ball. Well, Kobe didn't pass the ball if you weren't serious about your craft. If you weren't serious about your craft, he wasn't passing the ball. And I wouldn't pass you the ball either. If you're coming in late for practice and you're not showing that you're serious about this, I wouldn't pass you the ball. But Kobe, quiet as kept, he has the most assists, I think, behind James Harden all time. Now, that has to do with his tenure as well. But this whole notion that Kobe didn't pass the ball is false. He played point guard do y'all know he played point guard his first year of that 3-peat with Shaq? He was the primary point guard. He did whatever it took to win. As long as it came out to a dub, he would do it. He would get on the glass. If it meant him getting 15 rebounds like against the Celtics, where he had a bad game, offensively shooting the ball because he had torn ligaments in his fingers, which affected his shot, he would do that. If it meant him locking up the opposing team's, hot guy on defense, he would do that. If it meant him going 9-10 straight games shooting the ball left-handed, he would do that. If it meant him popping his Achilles in 2013 to get his team into the playoffs, he was going to do that. Whatever it took to win, that's what Kobe Bryant would do. The narratives, the lies, the fantasy stories, the people who weren't around, people who weren't there, the people they tried to overlook him. Again, this guy was right behind Mike, and all of a sudden he dropped damn near to the top 10 spot. I don't know who these players came out of nowhere. And again, I'm going to do a video on Tim Duncan. I don't see where the argument is with him and Tim Duncan. I really don't. Especially in the 2000s. Tim Duncan won in 1999 and 2014. And both of those times, he wasn't the best player on his team. Tim Duncan is known for consistency, but not dominance, meaning he wasn't a guy that you looked at, okay, that point of his career, he was just the best player in the NBA. You never looked at him like that. At least I didn't. But the Kobe and Shaq comparison, he's not better than him historically, and he wasn't a player that carried Kobe to anything. Again, in 2003 to 2004, Kobe Bryant was the best. He was the best player on the Lakers, and that's why in that video, Jim Butts decided to keep Dr. Butts decided to keep Kobe Bryant over Shaquille O'Neal because one was digressing and one was progressing to being the best player in the NBA. But I'll leave it at that, y'all, man. You guys come back at any time. Appreciate the people that came onto the panel yesterday. Again, follow my show, the Believe in Clippers podcast. We'll be dropping another episode today. I had with another guest last night. But until next time, we respectfully say pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace. Out of here like swimwear.